Fantastic stuff. Will I be putting my animation assignment up on YouTube when it's finished? Ooh. I will probably put it up on the internet when I have proper, like, copyright protection, which the university does help. You get, like, a little symbol from it to put at the end, so they will go and kick people to death if they try and steal your work and say, "Oi, this is ours, stop it, naughty boy." But I don't know if I'll put it up on YouTube. I might, eventually, but yeah, it's harder to control keeping stuff safe on YouTube. I will certainly make a website eventually and put it on there. And yeah, if you want to, I will link people to it, because yeah, promotion is always good, if I ever finish it. Yeah, do not expect to see it for a very long time. It's going to take me a year. I haven't even started animating it yet. I'm trying to persuade my tutors and voice actors and everything that I can actually do it, which I'm not 100% sure of, because I am pushing myself. It is pretty damn ambitious, but I have a pretty good idea that I'll be able to do it, and it's not very much over 3 minutes at the moment. It's just the content is, whew, there's hard stuff to do, including, for example, smoke, a flying train, which is going to be interesting, and yeah, acting and voice lip syncing is always really difficult, so it is going to be hard. I'm very aware of this, and yeah, people keep saying, you know, this is epic, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I know, but it's what I want to do. It's hard, but it's definitely what I want to do, so I'm terrified. But I will try and make something worth watching. That's all I want to do. Make something cool. I mean, yeah, as someone from Pixar said, I can't remember if it was I can't remember who it was, but yeah, saying, like, people always ask us, how do you do it? How do you keep churning out hit after hit? How do you make sure that your film is going to be a success right from the outset? And they're just like, well, this isn't really a trick. We make a film that we would like to see, so other people also want to see it, because we don't aim for an audience, we just make something that we think would be pretty neat. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make a film that I would love to see. Same with the comic, although it's taking so long. Oh boy. So yeah, this is gonna kill me, but hopefully it will be cool. And yeah, hopefully it will work. How do I decide panels for the comic pages? Well, like I've said before, it's been through several storyboard versions, so there is already a vague thumbnailed massive storyboard for the rest of the comic, which is hidden away so no one will ever find it, although who cares. But before I actually start the new comic pages, I often plan 4 or 5 in advance, so I know how it's going to lead into the next few pages, so there is some sort of strategy of pacing, although it's not very apparent. And yeah, I try to mix things up a bit, because you can always improve something, always. There's so many mistakes and things that I could change and improve with the pages I've already done, but I just don't have time. Yeah, so I do actually already have each page sorted out, so I know the content of each page, but before I actually do the final one, I look it over and sometimes change the format of the cells, well, the boxes anyway, and how I use lines and ratios and stuff. So there's a bit of last minute impromptu-ness about it, but most of it is actually already decided, so it is all foretold. Right, and how long does it take to draw one page of the comic versus drawing storyboards for a 30-second film? Wow, I can't compare that, because okay, I just had, like, the fail of the century, because I did not realise that the camera was running out of battery, like, quite severely, and woo, I can't actually put this back in the stack of books because it is now plugged in and charging, so yeah, oops. Oh, I can nearly make it, yes! Ooh, just pull the wire, Sarah. Oh, sorry guys, that was hilarity fail. I'm also really cold. Anyway, quick Sarah, stop wittering and answer the question. So yeah, it's hard to compare storyboarding an animation with the comic, especially because for a 30-second animation, I mean, it depends how hard the animation is, whether it's very complicated or not. So, for example, I did actually do a sort of a rough test animation, which I haven't finished because I got busy and it's not hugely necessary. But yeah, I started doing a rough animation over the summer, which was just tests for character performance for 2 of my characters, which if I ever finish that, I will put it up on YouTube, because that's okay. And yeah, the storyboarding for that took, I don't know, maybe an hour? But that was partly because I was trying to be very careful and make it didactic, so very easily understandable, even though it didn't have any spoken narration or anything. So yeah, to be funny and understandable but without any speech. So that was partly because I was being careful. But storyboarding can be as rough as you like, so you can blast it out incredibly quickly. So you can do a storyboard for a 30-second film in half an hour quite easily if you're just getting the idea out straight away. If you're doing a pretty fancy one, like the lovely colour storyboards that Pixar does, they can take ages, they can take weeks. They're works of art in themselves. So yeah, it does depend on what level you're working at. As for the comic pages, it's quite different because that's a finished article, so they take a lot longer. So roughing out the comic pages could be compared to storyboarding, because yeah, I do a very rough blue scribbly layout for the page first with the characters and positions and stuff, but then you have to do the backgrounds, then you have to do the line art, then you have to do the shading, the heavy shading, the mid shading, the text, editing the text, checking all your spelling mistakes and fitting it in is really difficult. As you will have noticed, I'm a bit of a failed train at that because I use a lot of words and sometimes far too many. I'm trying to cut down on that now because it's silly. And yeah, of course, speech bubbles. And yeah, going back and checking over everything, just tiny little details that you might forget, like straps on the sandals, and Sanji's beard. The number of times I've had to go just checking it over in the last minute, I had to go, God, that is missing his goatee, crap, there, it's done. Just, yeah, but yeah, what I used to do is set aside a good weekend at least, and maybe an extra day for the comic, sort of during a week. I would usually work on it, but sometimes I just wouldn't have the time, so I would have to do it all in one big lump, which is hard to do. So yeah, one page of the comic I would estimate would take me a good day, a long, hard working day of many hours and cramped handness to finish, and possibly more than that, because sometimes you just can't draw, you know, it happens, we all get it, and especially me, I just have days where I can do it, and I have days when I definitely cannot do it, which is happening to me lately, which sucks. But there you go, yeah, it's hard to compare. It is hard to compare those sort of things. Anyway, yes, that's the end of this now. Sorry for the fail. And yeah, if you ask more, I will answer again. Just, yes, feel free to ask anything you like. And yeah, if you want to know more about the film, please ask me. I'll say as much as I can. So yeah, okay. See you again next time, folks. Ha ha ha. I really ought to come with a name for this, but I can't be bothered because I'm lazy.